The life of the dead is placed in the memory of the living. And maybe if they keep their eyes peeled and their ears open, our adventurers can begin to stitch the mysterious pieces they have together. Many stories wait to be discovered here in these damp catacombs. Prophecies, warnings, omens, truths, even lies. I guess these fucks will have to sort it out themselves. Welcome to the SpellCast.
Naga worshippers, you don't know.
Alright.
One of the others. Impossible.
Let's go somewhere else.
But so, just etchings, nothing else at the end of the...
Nope.
Alright, let's go to room 28.
Okay.
Plain and simple.
So, So discovering that nothing is there in this hallway, it was just an illusion, you turn back around and you go to the first diverging hallway that you can on the way back. And it leads to a room, no door, again. I should stress this, there appears to be no doors in this tier. Just a doorway. And you see that as you walk down the hall, across the way from the entrance, there is a scorch mark, and the scorchings outline the shape of a lizard folk. Like you can see that where the wall is not covered in soot, you can see a tail, arms, legs splayed out. And you can see, laying on the ground below it, this crumpled pile of ashen bone.
How fresh does it look?
It looks about as old as... I mean, it looks fresher than the fighty-robed people.
Yeah.
That was a bad description. But fresher than the corpses you've seen before, but still old.
Okay.
Let's go first.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I like fire.
You walk down the hallway, and you turn your head, and nothing happens. You do see that there is a nozzle staring you in the face, sort of like on a pillar, just inside the doorway, and it's clicking like it's trying to activate, and you can nothing.
No.
You kind of smell gas, but there's nothing.
This thing's defunct. It's out of juice. We're good, guys.
Describing a broken oven.
I'm describing a broken oven, basically, a broken pilot light. Yes.
Alright,
wait, who has the torch?
But there's gas.
Who has the torch?
I think it's just because she's the one who can't see.
Don't walk over there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Do you see anything in the room?
Yeah,
You do. You see a very lavish burial chamber. The depictions on the wall seem to denote that it might have been the high priest of the Coatl.
Okay.
The side that took with the Coatl. And you can see it's been fucked up. The stone crypt has been broken into. Do you step inside the room?
Yeah.
And inspect things?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if there's like bones and shit, I'm careful not to touch.
No.
Okay.
How strong is the smell of gas?
Very weak, almost undetectable.
Well, I mean, gas does tend to be undetectable.
Well, yes, but compared to a level, if you're describing a level of subfusion of the room in terms of mixing with the air, very weak.
Okay.
As you inspect, you notice that the crypt was entirely desecrated. Anything of value that might have been buried with the high priest was taken.
Okay.
His bones were broken, skull smashed in, robes ripped apart, burned, just fucked up.
I'm like, okay, so I think this is definitely a burial chamber. I think like the high priest guy was in here, but there's nothing of value. Let's go somewhere else. I mean, if you don't believe me, you're welcome to look inside and see for yourself. We just met,
I
so...
I saunter down there. I take a look.
Yeah, same thing.
I'll examine the trap.
Yeah, it seems to be a trap that just... The pilot light went out.
Well, how does it activate?
It's supposed to activate. There's supposed to be a flint and...
Well, no, not the fire.
No.
Like, what triggers it?
Oh, what triggers it? It seems to be a pressure plate on the floor. On the threshold of the doorway.
There's nothing of value at all, you said, right?
Yeah, nothing.
I move around like some of the remaining
nothing.
stuff, nothing?
No. Stolen, broken, or burned.
Room 31.
31. So you exit back down the hallway. start to head back to where the armory was, and you make a left going down this hallway where it splits, but you can see there is an open chamber in front of you. And you can see in front of you there is a panoply of armor.
What does panoply mean?
Just a whole
Plethora. Okay.
A slew, plethora.
Okay.
A lot.
Yes. Just a lot of it. And a lot of it looks ceremonial.
Okay.
Probably if this temple had a guard, this would have been where they were.
And it's practical armor, not shitty I'm die armor.
I mean, it's old, right?
Well, I mean, like, it's not spiky on the inside.
It's not spiky armor. Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, no. It's practical armor. It's adorned. It is adorned. It might be worth something in of itself to, like, an oddities place, but in terms of how old the metal is and its usefulness...
Yeah, I don't think I have... I'm more interested in, like, trinkets and, like, statues and jewelry.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested.
There's not that much here. It's very utilitarian. Very much a guard's armory.
Okay.
But for the priesthood.
So looking around, there's just armor in here?
Just armor in here. Some weapons.
Doesn't look like there's a key rack or anything.
No. There is no super secret key to the super secret door located anywhere in here.
Skipping the guards or something.
I guess room 25 would be next.
Room 25.
I mean, I'm gonna keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
just
I
as
just
a
wanted
heads
to
up.
ask if I could tell what the things were made of.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
Just,
Very
I mean, I do
bronze, wet bronze. It's Bronze Age
Okay, yeah, whatever.
sort of stuff. That's it. And they're not magical. Nothing is.
Nothing is magical.
Yeah.
Everything is worthless.
I guess if you want to ask to get a feel of the design, it's the design of the armor. It is a mix between Aztec and Egyptian cultures. Like the armor feels more jungle in aesthetic, but the weapons, particularly the blades, have a Kopesh feel to them.
Curved swords.
Curved swords.
Curved.
Yes. Yes. Your room.
Okay.
25.
So, you walk down the hallway to the left of that room, that chamber, and you can see directly in front of you, it seems to be another burial room. Scenes of warfare painted on the walls. There's a large wooden sarcophagus standing upright in the back of the room.
Wooden, he says. I could light it on fire.
Yes, and painted on
Please
the outside of the sarcophagus is a picture of one of these lizard folks dressed in this armor that you've seen in the other room, except it is super adorned. It seems to have more additions than the others.
Okay.
Something.
Is it a solid, like, it's a closed
It's
wooden
a closed
cabinet?
wooden
I really want to light it on fire.
Can we open it first
Isn't
and see
there a
what's in
body
it before
inside?
you light it up?
Well, if there's something inside of it, if
It'll
I light it
burn.
on fire and it wants to kill us, it would already be burning, which would give us an advantage.
True.
Is there a sprinkler system in here?
I mean, the whole place is made of stone, so that's not the issue. I just don't, like, it's old wood. I don't want to smell that. Then if there's a dead thing in there,
do
then
you
it's gonna
inspect
smell
the
like dead
sarcophagus?
burning things.
We can inspect it if we want before opening
Can I shoot an
it.
arrow in it?
That's like the same thing as lighting out fire.
Yeah, but then we'll see if
Understand
something's
if
gonna
it's
get...
What?
I'm just gonna inspect it.
All
I
right.
mean, you can still shoot it if you want.
Yes. Halexan, you go up and inspect it, and you can see all along the edges, in multiple locations along the edges of this sarcophagus, are a mix of clay and woven fiber seals that are placed along, and there are imprintings, like someone pressed a seal into these clay seals, I guess we would say, that sort of are attached to the top sarcophagus and the base.
Do they look like they're pictographic, or are they more like draconic?
A mix of both. The draconic is there as well.
Conall, can you read what it is?
Let me investigate.
Yeah, roll me investigation.
Just 10.
10. You are able to gather death. No. Please. No.
We really mean it. No.
No. Are you sure? Don't open.
Okay, guys, it says don't
Cursed.
no open, please cursed. Something, set it on fire.
What? Bartholomew's there. He comes to his same conclusion. He's like, we might not want to mess with this, like, at all. I wouldn't, he sort of backs away from the sarcophagus. It's like, let's just not mess with the thing that says no, please don't mess with it.
I'm so torn.
So do we want to be cursed or do we want to just leave?
Room 37.
Well, and onward we go. Alright, so Conall is the first to leave the room. I have to ask if Sav'ah Rah leaves the room.
I see Connor leave the room, and I like sort of nervously take up my prism and like I'm touching it and just kind of smoothing over it. And I'm looking at everyone else.
What the hell just happened?
Curse, no, leave.
So,
Yeah.
if I heard correctly through the muffled bathroom door,
Yes.
you guys saw box and read "Don't Dead" open inside.
And are you sure?
And no, it's cursed.
It says, please, no.
Please, no.
Oh, please, no.
No.
Please, no.
No.
Literally the draconic letters, if translated exactly correctly, on one of the thing is in common would be PLZ and O. Please no.
Please, no. Written on a sarcophagus?
Written on a sarcophagus.
Like in formal text, like please no, or like scrawled on the side? Like,
Scrawled on a clay seal. One of the clay seals keeping the
Hey,
top
please,
to
thanks,
the rest
bye.
of the body.
No. Please God no.
I'm looking.
So I guess Savara's waiting for whatever everyone else wants to do. I know Connell's already.
I'm not leaving the room until Sav'ah leaves the room.
Okay. Tessa?
It's okay, Sav'ah, let's go. Please, you don't want to open it. It's okay. You'll have many more opportunities to light things on fire, I promise. Just,
Okay, I'll follow behind everyone.
I mean,
Just,
like,
we're...
let's say we get a fight into something else, we'll know that we'll have, a nice, neatly packaged distraction to run back to.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay. There.
But we can't break the seal yet, or it'll spoil.
Yes, true.
You have points in persuasion, Ront?
It worked.
So
Don't do this.
So you guys walk
Don't do
towards
this.
back towards the end of the hallway, and
And no, I don't.
you walk into this room, which is right on the corner of this curve, where it seems that the hallway goes all the way down to the very sloping down, I might add, all the way down to the opposite side of the pyramid. But you enter this hallway. There is no door. This room. There is no door, and it seems to be a complete, intact. All the fibers and cloths and things are there. Robing room.
Oh, sweet.
You can also find masks with very old potpourri in them that you think the embalmers might wear. This mostly seems to be a chamber for the division of the order that would be doing the burials and the embalming and the preparation of the corpses.
Hey, Connell, do you want to put masks on for the rest of the trip and, like, scare dead things if we find them?
You know what? That'd be great, because then even if they see us, they'd be like, oh, I know that guy.
Yeah,
Now, yeah, so these masks, they kind of are hard to fit because they're made for snouts.
Oh,
they're
I
made
see.
for, like, more lizardy snouts. But there's a lot of space. You can kind of still smell things in front of you. It just looks like you have a muzzle. It's
How do I look? I strike, like, what I think is a very glamorous pose. What Sav'ah thinks.
Hey, Greco.
Vaguely reptilian.
Greco, right?
I've never gotten that one before.
Oh, Garant the gecko. Garant the gecko. He says, "Congratulations, you've achieved looking stupid."
Thank you.
Would anything just
It's okay. If you make, like, a pose like this, then you won't look stupid, you'll just look reptilian.
How wrong is she?
I can make a pose like this.
How wrong is she?
And look
Gerald,
like I
how
was
wrong
just set
is
on
she?
fire.
She's 75% right.
You're of no use to me.
Sorry. he does the gecko shrug.
Garen, do you know anything about that sarcophagus that we saw?
You see his eyes sort of go multicolored for a little bit. And then he says, he is in pain. He fought well and hard, waiting for help. Cure? Cursed he is.
I don't know if
I really want to go back into that room and light it down.
Dangerous. Now.
Okay.
Help he needs. Yoda
macarons are of no use to
He
anyone.
wants help, but we're over here looking at each other in reptile masks thinking this probably isn't the best to go back to him anyway, because he'll probably just attack us.
Okay.
We don't have a cleric with us.
No cleric. No cleric with you.
Sav'ah Rah,
What?
do you happen to also be a cleric?
No?
Is
No.
this an internal hurt or an external hurt? Or what kind of pain are you talking about?
And there's potpourri in these, right?
Geralt clarifies it's the kind of pain that makes you not want to fully die and hurt people.
The sort of pain where, like, the you inside of you weeps.
Yes. Weeps and yells. And
Okay, we're in cool maps. Let's keep going.
Yeah, there's a long hallway, right?
What's
There's a
39?
long
There's a 39.
Okay, as you enter this hallway, you notice dangling from a chain is a glass globe, a huge 10-foot by 10-foot glass globe.
Okay.
And settled at the bottom of this globe are a bunch of coins and jewelry and gems and such. And it seems to be filled with liquid, water, maybe. It seems sort of translucent and transparent. There are no bubbles inside, but there is definitely jewelry and gems and things just settled at the bottom of it.
What's below it?
Below it's nothing. It's sort of dangling a little bit up above the ground from a chain.
So,
You
a
have to-
chain, glass globe,
Archer.
Treasure,
Archer with
Water.
an arrow.
water.
Archer with an arrow.
No.
Can you
Yes.
detect magic on the water?
Who has detect traps? Anybody? Anybody? No?
No.
So,
Bartholomew does not.
I'm gonna stand not immediately in front of the thing and, like,
Is it enough?
Where are you standing? Are you standing in this hallway or this hallway? In
yeah,
the
I'm
hallway
gonna-
that
I'm
slopes?
gonna,
or in-
I'm gonna peek around the corner at it.
Okay.
Okay?
Is it like
And I'm going to. Well, I can't roll investigation because that would imply that I'm actually all up in it and touching it and probably dying.
We can put one of our dynamite thingy. Not dynamite. Is that supposed to be?
Firecrackers.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
skyrocket.
can throw a firecracker, like a non-lit firecracker, at it to see if that triggers something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If you
I
guys
mean-
are cool.
I
have a bar of
I would,
soap.
throw, I would throw a rock at it. Like,
You want to throw a thunderstone at it?
no.
Okay, you just want to throw a rock at it.
Or-
I have
or
normal
soap.
rocks!
You also have
I have
soap.
a bar of soap.
You also have bar soap.
Soap rope?
So what are we doing? Are we throwing a rock at it, soap at it, or are we shooting firecrackers?
Soap is an actual thing
It
that
works
will
well
make you
with
smell
water.
good.
Mhm.
I think we should do a firecracker.
Or Tessa?
is this like water that's enough water to like drown people in water? Or
This is
like,
It could be cursed water. We don't know.
This is a 10-foot diameter sphere
Jeez,
globe
10 feet.
of
Clearly.
liquid and treasure.
I am definitely not near 10 feet.
And we're certain it's glass and not something that looks an awful lot like glass but is alive.
You're certain there's glass.
Okay.
Do you want to touch it?
No.
It looks like glass.
I'll do the thing. I'll get where
Can we
Ront
just poke
is,
a
and
little
I'll
hole in
kind
it?
of poke around.
Into glass?
And so you poke around
You don't
Sav'ah
poke
Rah.
holes in the glass.
No, I go like on
You cut
I
holes in
go
glass or
to
you
the
break
wall,
them.
the other
Yes.
wall,
Mhm.
and I
Toss a rock at it? Is that
no a firecracker.
Okay, you toss a firecracker. Is it lit?
No.
Okay, toss a firecracker at it. It bounces off, and it bounces off as if it were glass.
All right.
Because it is glass.
Alright. I walk over to it and I touch it.
It's glass.
Wait, so while Ront is underneath it, I pull out my bow. Ront, you might want to get out from under there.
Conall, you know I can't move faster than an arrow.
I'll give you to the count of 7.
I don't move. I stare at Conall. I establish dominance.
Good luck.
You're gonna have to beat me.
Ooh, charisma check.
1. Oh, go ahead. Roll.
No.
Go ahead, you beautiful people.
Oh, well, beat that.
What did you get?
6.
6 plus your charisma modifier.
7.
I rolled a natural 17. Go suck on your own arrow.
So what do you do, Conall? Do you shoot at the thing?
Yeah, I let go of it.
Okay.
I don't get to count this.
So you don't shoot the thing,
Oh no, I mean I had it held back. I let go of it. I don't count the 7.
and you shoot the thing.
I'm just standing here around like.
I've established dominance and now I'm going to be soggy.
You're not gonna be soggy.
Oh no.
So
God damn it!
you're standing underneath it,
Well, like, next to it. I'm
next
touching
to it. Where
I'm
next
touching
to
it.
it?
I'm touching
Touching it. Okay. The glass,
Are you doing like?
as the arrow
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
plunks into the globe, the glass shatters, and the glass falls away from it. And your hand, the glass falls away from your hand, and you sort of lean forward and are now touching a cool, smooth, perfectly round, squishy substance.
Conall, I hate you.
As
Squeeze it!
Oh,
no. Can someone pull me free? Please?
One second. The gelatinous sphere falls and hits the floor and starts rolling, and it rolls over you, Ron.
Yep.
And I need you to,
die.
Where's the jewelry?
It's in there. It's in
the gelatinous sphere.
That's a very common.
And as it rolls, the jewelry seems to roll with the thing.
Thanks, Conall. Thanks, Conall.
Oh my god. I mean, I wanted this, but I didn't want it.
You wanted to break open this thing.
Okay.
I wanted a little.
I need you to
maybe the water.
I need you to make. It has entered your space. Is trying to roll on top of you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
15.
Okay, thank God. So you're able to dodge out of the way of the gelatinous sphere, which would have absorbed you, and you would have absorbed all the way down the slope as it just starts continually rolling faster and faster and faster until it gets to a movement speed of about 100. And you see it roll all the way down to the end and just kersplat against the wall and dissipates. And it takes...
I run towards it so I can get some treasure.
Do we get to roll the falling damage?
Yeah, sure. Roll the falling damage because
How
it
much
was
is
going 100. We're just doing speed. So 100, and it's a D10 every 10 feet.
Every 10 feet of speed?
Every 10 feet of...
Wait, you dodged this?
I did.
Okay, you're just seeing what would have happened.
No, we're rolling to see how much damage it takes because it's a living thing.
Oh.
I think maximum is 20d6. Roll 12d6.
12d6. Here we go. So we'll roll this. So that's 14 from 6 dice and 35.
It is enough to break it to little bitty gelatinous chunks that don't seem to be moving.
Don't seem to be moving.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you're way the fuck away.
Well, Sav'ah's running after it.
And Sav'ah's running after it. All right, so you run past all these chambers.
I'm going to follow.
And
follow
when you
around.
reach it, the little chunks seem, now that you're closer, are kind of like very pathetically edging towards like you. I mean, they can't engulf them, but you can stomp on them easily.
Hey, Conall, can I have an arrow? Here. I start just stabbing pieces with the arrow.
Yeah, of course.
Do you stab Conall with the arrow?
So, once I'm done collecting a number of them, I stab him with that.
I'm taking some of that.
Yeah, of course. You find a various number of pieces and a various number of pieces of coins that don't have any mintings that you're familiar with, but they are still round coins of gold, similar in size and shape.
How much is there?
I would say there's about, in total, 100 gold pieces, and then probably another 100 gold pieces worth of gems in general.
I take just the gems.
Yeah, sure. The gems, a couple of rough-cut rubies and sapphires. I would say that would equal about 100 gold pieces.
And since there's all the gems, I see that, there's that room 40 right there, and it's like, oh, what's in
You want to
there?
pop in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Without everyone else, yeah.
Yep.
I'll... Is there an issue with putting loose coins in a bag of holding? Is it like I have to think about each one and pull it out?
Can you imagine?
I don't even know.
No.
Or can I be like, I would like 100 gold pieces bag?
Probably can.
Don't fight me on this.
You can organize it later.
Yes.
No, but here, take half.
So I'll just the money goes in the bag, we'll deal with it later.
Deal with it later.
And I will accompany Sav'ah, fiery lass.
Hi.
Well, you didn't just try to crush me with a ball, so...
Listen, Ront, I looked at you.
I'm not listening, you're like hundreds of feet away!
I said I ran over to you.
You finally ran over here?
All
Guess I'll make my way down towards it.
Okay.
I was already there, but
How many feet was that?
You are a good sport.
Yes, you were
Was that
there.
actually like 100 to 200 feet?
Yeah, it's about that. Probably more. I didn't count the square.
Okay. So we're in room 40.
You're in. You step in. You step to room 40.
Okay, we step to room 40.
You see inside there is an elaborately jeweled coffin in the center of the room with the stone top pushed off, and on top of the coffin there seems to be a large creature with a corpse halfway in its mouth that is already staring at you.
That we ran past
that
earlier.
you ran past, that is already staring at you with a wide, numerous set of eyes. It looks like a maggot, but it's huge. Well, it's more of like a large... Actually, I can give you a little mini if you'd like to see the thing that you don't want to mess with.
Is it mad? That's all I want to know.
It looks surprised as hell.
Is it like I've just started this, but I wouldn't mind changing my meal, my order to something
It looks like
different,
this. It's a mix between a slug, a spider, and a tick.
Carrion crawler.
You guessed
Can
it right.
I see it? I can't see
Is that Hal saying that? Or Mike saying that?
I'm not there.
Oh,
I'm still on my way down the hall.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So you see everyone stop in front of the doorway then.
Does Ront have any context for understanding what
Make a nature check. Or a history check because of adventure times.
22.
You know it's a carrion crawler. It's in the middle of a meal, and they do not like being disturbed in the middle of their meals.
I like kind of like bow and just like I kind of do like I look at him and like oh.
I draw my arrow and I whisper it to Ron.
Go touch it. No.
No one's touching it.
I just kind
Does
of
it generally stop at like
Well,
eating
what
something about its size and then like it can like go fuck off and
It's
not
a
deal
giant
with
bug
other things?
fish.
Or Hal, come say something weird.
It's not chewing anymore. The lower portion of the corpse that it is trying to devour is just hanging halfway out of its mouth. You know, they follow the scent of death. How it got in here, who knows? To its food. Prefers not to compete with other scavengers. They smell really horrible. So as soon as you step in, it's
We
smell
still
of
have the
death.
masks.
They generally are poisonous. They are territorial. They do attack intruders.
We should go. Conall, put that away. Put it away.
Yeah.
What is it, guys?
Slowly
As you're going, like I come up, I want to look.
Yeah. You see the exact same carrion crawler. You can identify it as such.
We should go.
Thank you for backing me up on this.
So do you all leave the carrion crawler alone? It is a nice jeweled coffin.
we can come back.
to room 36, huh, guys?
Well, no, there's a dead end.
I'll gesture at it. It's clear that this stall is currently occupied. We shall leave it and return another time.
You see the tentacles around its mouth sort of wave and click a little bit as it sort of hisses at you.
I'll wave, click, and hiss at it as well.
Roll me a charisma check. You better pass this shit.
You better.
Someone just tried to kill me with a jelly.
With love.
13.
Okay, that's good enough. It does not immediately slurp down the corpse like a stinky ramen noodle and go after you. It's fine. It sort of continues to chew. You don't know what the fuck you said to it, if you said anything to it, but it's still watching you. It doesn't want you.
Right. I did that and leave.
Yes, of course. So you leave.
So then 39A, I guess, right?
Oh yeah. Okay.
So that thing doesn't.
Yeah. So there was a room you passed. You see as you look into through the threshold, this room that you passed on the way down, halfway down the slope corridor that you walk up again, there is a sarcophagus.
There's so many of these.
There's so many of these. You can
Very
immediately
old.
tell that this is probably where the dead tenants stay.
All right.
In this pyramidal hotel. There's a sarcophagus on a dais in the center of the room. The dais is 10 foot square. And from each corner of the dais, there's a small 6 foot tall, rises a 6 foot tall column, not small. The tops of the columns meet the corners of an arched dome above the sarcophagus. And on the dais, at each end of the sarcophagus is a brass jar. And from these jars, there seem to be tiny flames. The walls of this room are painted with scenes you can see of temple construction. Make me an investigation check.
12.
You can see in this temple construction that there are a number of workers. They don't appear to be slave labor or anything of that nature. They seem to be the lizard folk. But you can see these 7 figures that you saw on the upper tier walking down through to the rotating Lazy Susan area that you saw before that didn't seem to be racially defined. You couldn't tell if they were elves, humans, dwarves, whatever. 7 figures that were just painted with dark paint. And you can identify in the background on these mountains because it is depicting the surrounding area, the valley that you were in, and the city that is now being constructed around this temple in these hieroglyphs and pictograms. You can see in the background, sitting on top of a mountain, on one of the mountains, perched almost, the easily identifiable deity that you worship, the Phoenix. And it is one of 6 that are there.
One of 6 phoenixes?
One of 6 not phoenixes.
Okay.
One of 6 different
Wait, you said there were
things.
there were 7 shadowed
There were
things.
7 shadowed
So there's
things.
phoenix and 6 shadowed other shadowed.
No, there's Phoenix and 5 other entities that you cannot easily identify.
And there's also the weird shaped
Seven weird
Also in
shaded-
there.
Also in there, yeah.
and it's an overall construction.
It's an overall construction. They seem to be overlooking. In some areas, they are helping the construction of the pyramid, but for the most part, they seem to be hunched over with what looks like an engineer or an architect of some sort in one of these.
Alright, and then in the middle is the sarcophagus.
sarcophagus.
The sarcophagus is closed.
Mhm.
What's on the sarcophagus itself?
Yes, you can see etchings of the life of the engineer.
Person.
Of the engineer.
Oh, the engineer.
The architect, yes.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna mess with that.
Yeah.
I respect that shit.
Yeah.
I do find it interesting that the phoenix is
There?
there. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
Can I walk over
alright.
to the sarcophagus?
Yeah.
Am I able to personally push it open? Do I have strength for that?
It's a 10-foot by 5-foot stone lid.
Jesus.
This is the dude who like helped build this whole thing. I feel like, you know.
Or the
But you're
messenger.
but you're okay burning the other guy.
Yeah, whatever.
Chaotic good, right?
You haven't discussed your dream with any of us, right?
No.
No.
Don't do anything.
So there's
I can't. I'm not Superman here.
Can I identify any of the other things in the art?
The art, you're going to have to give me a history check.
I'll
And
do
depending
that.
on that, I'm going to give you a number of them.
16 plus 5.
21. So you identify a phoenix. It takes a while. It's like, where's Waldo, except where's the giant mythical creature? You see in the valley, sitting in the ocean, a sea turtle. You can identify on the slopes a Pegasus. Like, none of this aesthetically fits this weird jungle area. Pegasus. You can see a lion with a human's face. So you can say, oh, that's a sphinx. And you can see the giant bird perched opposite the mountain next to the phoenix. So, rock. You can identify it as a creature of a rock. You know the way the monsters in Monster Hunter are like drawn. Yeah, that's the way they have been drawn here.
Okay.
How many did I mention? Phoenix,
That sounded like 5.
Phoenix, rock,
Pegasus.
Sea turtle,
Pegasus,
Sphinx,
Sphinx, turtle. Oh, and looks like a giant dire bear.
And any clear color correlation of them?
Yeah,
the artwork.
Yeah, seems to be color coordination there.
Okay. See.
Would you like to know the color coordination that you spot on these things?
Well, first I'm gonna confer with Bart and see if there's anything he can glean from just knowing that these things are here.
Make me an insight check.
Nope.
He says, I have no idea.
So Pierre knows that he has an idea, but Ront is a fucking he. So yes, the colors, please.
Colors, please. All right. The Phoenix is engulfed in a reddish-orange flame. The Pegasus has tinges of purple on the tips of its wings.
Good for you.
Sick you.
The bear, of course, looks like it's made of like a green, leafy, mossy material covering it.
Mm-hmm.
The Sphinx.
The Sphinx seems to have a yellowish, sandy nature to its coat.
And the turtle is blue.
And the turtle has, of course, patches of blue
So
in its shell.
so that hallway
Mm-hmm.
off up.
Mm-hmm.
I walk down it.
Of course, you find it's just another way.
Yeah, I'm away.
What about the rock creature?
And I have accomplished what I wanted to do. The rock, by the way, the rock.
The
rock
rock.
creature.
You mentioned.
Oh, the rock. The rock seems to
The
have
Dwayne Johnson.
yes, the rock of Johnson. Seems. The creature looks Samoan, very tall, built. No. It seems to have more of a snowy plumage.
So like a whitish, snowish?
Damn you. Of course that's its color.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's nice to know. But
What? Yes, Tessa. What's your question?
based on my stay with the Emerald Enclave and the knowledge I gained from them, do I see this too?
Yes.
I mean,
I think that's-
if I pointed out any of the animals, you can
Yes.
see what colors
Yes.
they are.
But on my own, I can do things myself. I'm a big halfling.
You're a big halfling. Said the halfling. Alright.
Do halflings have size complexes?
What?
Like amongst themselves?
That's a good question.
Tessa's necessarily
Probably.
like a larger
Maybe.
halfling.
You ever watch Fairly Odd Parents where they all wore like
One of
blobs?
the tall fellows.
Oh, the tall fellas. Yeah, I remember that. That's
She's like a couple inches larger than
There
anybody
were tall
in her
fellows,
village.
there were stouts who were kind of
Yes.
like
yeah, proud feet. The
Yeah.
proud.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, nothing else in this room. You seem to Ront, with your investigation check, your history check, glean back from the animals themselves. You, Sav'ah Rah, with your investigation check, cannot seem to glean any other pertinent information from the walls.
Okay. Do you share this information with the group, or do you like?
Yeah, Ront.
I mean, after that botched attempt to confer with Bart. Oh God, what does that mean? I'll be like, hey guys, look, Conall, this dumb-looking thing's probably about you. I
What
guess.
is it?
Oh yeah, it has wings.
The Pegasus.
Yeah, I think that's what a Pegasus in this style would look like. And Hal has the yellow rock.
Hallow's the yellow.
Hal has it. How do you feel about like human lion things?
I'm not too keen on the color yellow.
I mean,
This is Adam saying if you want to change the
I'm-
color,
I'm-
you can be.
I'm just giving you shit. That's
Because
all.
I kind of just picked him. It doesn't have to be that way. Like,
Well,
seriously.
well, you know
I'm
how.
sure.
Well, you know how. I'm sure you can pay someone to get it painted over.
That would be a pretty neat take job.
Paint the rock.
Right?
And Tessa.
Bear, yeah.
Oh, good. You're already
Green bear.
there.
Like me, I'm a
Sit-
green bear.
You're a green bear?
Greenish.
I'm pretty sure I've never seen you turn into a green bear.
She's a bear and green bear.
Get out of your house!
My God, it's time for bed.
It's time to stop! Where are your parents?
Adam, go home. You are drunk.
That was quite embarrassing.
Well, he's home.
You made
Oh,
it.
it's okay.
Text us when you get home.
So what do you guys do next?
Hey.
Wait, I know. That one's mine, right?
Nice.
I do a
Wait,
hair
wait.
flip and.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Isn't there an extra one? What's the white one?
I
Nobody has a white
I don't.
stone. So what is that one?
I know exactly as much as you know.
What's
It's
that?
probably the gecko.
I mean, it's a rock, right?
Sorry, yeah, it's a rock.
I don't know.
I say it's probably the gecko
Wait,
because,
does-
like, we were all like, oh, the gecko, the
Is there a white-
chosen
Thank you.
one.
Is there a white prism?
For all the listeners at home, I'm sure you'll be happy to note that our esteemed GM has made it home. He texted us just now.
I'm home.
So far, Bart has been more or less either ignorant or feigning ignorance about the prophecy that supposedly they shoved us in here for. And we don't have any of those dudes.
You ain't got none of those dudes.
And when we first came in, that chamber had 5 symbols, right? Not 6?
5 symbols, yeah, not 6. And this one has 7 figures,
Okay.
and there are 6 things, beastie things.
I don't know. I don't think we're gonna be able to find more information about what the heck that's supposed to mean until later.
Alright, I think we should go back down to the bottom where all those other rooms are.
Okay.
My only
36.
confusion is that if there's
So you're gonna
white
do this
symbol
entire
on each
floor,
of the colors of our
and we're gonna
stones,
do it
is there
right.
a white prism
Yeah.
somewhere that we
Yeah.
could find, or has somebody already found it and do they have it?
I mean, we don't even know what these things are for yet.
I know. Just saying, if it's for something really powerful, we should be concerned that other person is that might have this thing.
I mean, for all we know, these are just elaborate keys to an elaborate door, behind which is a brand new carriage.
A brand new garage! Alright, so which room do you guys head to? You can head to
Let's go to 35.
35.
Hey.
35, take a dive. Okay, you walk into the room, and you see in the room that it is filled Completely. Piles on the floor, barely any stone floor you can see, bones. Just skeleton.
Well,
Bye.
Bye.
They all seem to be lizard folk. It's so thickly covered. You can see that it is near impossible, unless you float, to cross the room without probably touching them.
yeah, no, literally,
Can I?
we're going that other windy way.
Nope.
Based on
It just seems to be like a room where they... You can see some of the skeletons do have manacles on them.
based on
Version?
just looking at the bones, is it possible to tell if like all the flesh just desiccated away, or if some have been picked clean, or
The flesh decomposed away. They're not attached to any walls, I will say that. The manacles, they're just piles of bones on the ground.
we should leave these alone. But if ever you wanted to light anything on fire, I would suggest this room.
Hey!
You just light everything on fire? Light everything on fire in the room, just firebolt, 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 firebolt. I'm not going to make you waste a fireball. Firebolt, firebolt, firebolt.
I will also hurl flasks to help you
The
out.
room becomes a conflagration of bone shards, ash, dust, manacles clinking about the room, and when it all is said and done with, nothing happens.
But if any of them were going to come up and do something, they can't now.
Wait, so is the room clear to walk through now?
I mean, nothing has happened when you fully disturb the entirety of the room.
Oh, like the bones didn't disappear.
Nothing. They didn't disappear. They just
We broke some of them.
broke some of them. There's ash that's still on the floor that you flew up into the air. There's smoke from the residual flames.
Alright, that was fun. Let's go the other way.
Which way?
Like the windy
The windy
towards,
way? Towards 30.
let's do 30. Let's do 30.
30.
Is-
Okay.
Did we
'Cause
do
then we-
36?
Oh, well then we should do 36, then
Okay.
30, then 29. Yeah.
Right. So in this room, you find that it is nearly completely intact. You can see from the threshold. It is a burial room, of course, and you can see black candles that have been set around the room, and there are bowls with homage bowls. You can see to leave donations and sacrifices and things. Some of them are tinged a little bit red by the candlelight. There are a couple of weapons, these wicked-looking weapons that have been left around. You can even see severed limbs.
Oh.
Bony now, but
Right,
severed
like-
limbs that have been left in offering plates. And things like a lizard folk hand, or a foot, or even a whole tail that was left there. And along the walls, if you step into it, do you step into the room?
Yeah, well, I do kind of like a...
Okay. You're able to tell, since you've been reading these walls for a little bit and know the gist of how they read. This is the story of what seems to be an advisor to whatever lizard folk royalty ruled this city.
Interesting.
Like a vizier of sorts.
Okay.
And you can see it depicts the tale very grandiosely, not like a downfall, but like a rising up of this vizier changing his faith from worshipping the Quad to worshipping a Naga. It's the same, like there's where he's bowing down below the Quaddle, and then at the other end of the room, opposite end, as you go through the series of him walking through the jungle at night and being met by a lone shadowy figure wreathed in darkness, which you cannot tell. There is no face, there is no nothing. It's just like a cloaked figure discussing with him. And he goes back, he tells some of the lizard folk clergy working here, they switched their robes from white to black. They start making these weapons, worshipping the Naga, and then you see the depiction of the actual uprising.
Yeah.
After, or at least a planned one, where everything went great. I mean, so there were no one was lost. But you see, at the end of this, the vizier is seen as sitting atop of the throne, leading these people on a throne, and behind the throne is this giant Naga-like creature that seems to be looking down on all of the worshippers, which are numerous now, as depicted in this.
And what does the sarcophagus look like?
It's the depiction of this vizier.
And it's closed.
It is closed, for
Okay,
sure.
Two things.
I want to ask Garrett.
Well, yeah, that was the second thing. But the
Yeah.
first thing was when we passed 40, was Squiggly still there?
When you passed 40, yeah, he was still there.
Okay.
He's
So, reverent bow.
yeah,
Yes.
of course.
I gesture to Garrett and be like, what do you know about this guy?
It is because of him It is because of him many died.
We gotta smoke him out.
If he still lives, he may be the reason. But it is because of him, his actions, his mistakes, in his belief that many died.
Yeah, so you're calling the mistakes and not like willful malice. I'm just making sure I fully understand. Because if we're about to desecrate a tomb, I'd like to not just.
I like the engineer guy. He was just doing his job and trying to make a living.
Ront says, interestingly, sometimes willful malice comes about due to a mistake in miscommunication, or a mistake of judgment. A desired outcome that one foresaw as being beneficial, and one strove for, that was false.
Okay.
We're gonna make things more complicated.
Okay.
Okay, no, that's fine. Yay, more relativism. Mike, any input?
What will desecrating his tomb accomplish?
That'll make me feel like I kicked the guy's butt in the
Garant.
afterlife.
Garant says, at least we'll know if he's dead.
Okay.
Fair enough.
yeah.
Is it a sarcophagus that I can open?
Yeah, let's go.
It's a stone lid. It will take a couple of people, and if you have a crowbar, that'll help. But you can together
We have
as a team.
several.
Strong ones.
That's not me.
We have several crowbars. I'm pretty sure.
Do you guys work as a team to crowbar this thing
Sure.
open? All right.
Yeah.
As a team, you can easily do it. And as you,
I'm gonna use my eraser and say that we have several crowbars instead of just one.
oh my gosh. And you lift, and as the top of the sarcophagus slides off and down, there's a plume of dust that comes into your eyes, causing you to cough. And you can see now that it is empty. It is straight up
Oh,
empty.
shit!
Just
Oh, well.
empty.
Like, clean.
Clean. No jewelry. No nothing.
No
note that
corpse.
says, haha, fuck you,
Yeah.
I'm not here.
You're sure? You're sure there's no note that says haha fuck you?
Yes, I'm sure there's no note that says, haha, fuck you, I'm not here.
Does this mean he's alive?
It
I
means he
mean,
didn't die in this thing.
We know that he's not here.
Great. Parent? Any input? Any help?
Is this maybe a false tomb?
He says
Yeah.
that, or the other option is, this is bad.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another one of Tessa's Question Corners. So, just a brief reminder for you all. The last question was, what is the most interesting thing you found in a dungeon? I have some pretty great responses here, so I'm gonna let Tessa get right to it. Starting with Twitter, Penance RPG Podcast at Penance RPG said, a lobster containing a girl's soul next to her corpse and her stalker. She's been christened Labrenna and has been adopted by her werewolf. Cute. I always love a good happy ending for nice animal souls. Labrenna. Labrenna. I'm guessing it's Labrenna because it's a lobster, right? Labrina. No, Labrina. There we go. Aw, that's really cute. That's actually a really cute lobster name. Adopted by a werewolf. At least she found a happy and safe home. That's the most important part. Next, Dungeons and Tangents at Dungeon_Tangent said, a first level player of mine found an Ifriti bottle. This weekend, we'll see what she does with it. Feel free to also let us know what happened with the Ifriti bottle and what mysteries lied inside. So, Joey Puckett at Grieving Sage said, a troll that answered us only in riddles or answered questions with questions. I never understood why. The lovely Pierre Viola, who is Ront at Fiverr Sign, said, I almost found, heavy quotes on found, the skeletal remains of duck children in an attic. With my butt, but thankfully I didn't combat roll. That's always nice. So I don't even want to know why. Skeletal duck children, it's just sad. It's sad. That's sad. Why? Why would you do that? Whatever. Lucas Taylor at Taylor D. Lucas said, a white horse that exploded at our touch. Oh, why would you make such a beautiful thing explode? All of nature's creatures are beautiful and they deserve to live. And they cured all our wounds. Yeah, so what? It still died for you. How do you feel about that? It turns out the poor thing was a wizard's lab rat. Who? Where is this wizard? I'm gonna find him. I wanna fight him. Where is he? Let's go. Whatever, fine. It's okay. I'm okay. It's fine. Dice or Die at D&D Podcasts said, I've been playing with a new treasure for my dungeons that I like called coins. The coin contains a high-level spell, but there's a 50% chance that it'll backfire on you. There's a 100% chance that I will just run away, but I know certain people that I will not name who will throw themselves at a chance to get that, so that's okay. Now, Instagram, Mendel the Slaver said, a carved snake staff, full-length carved, radiates alteration strongly with detect magic. Mysteriously turns up in different places when left alone. Later found out it moves on its own. Eventually discovered it was actually an improved familiar construct with sentience. And a helpful magical ability to regenerate its master when held. That's awesome! Does that give you any cool ideas? Regeneration magic. Yeah, that's a no. Okay, thanks. Molly for Comic said, in our D&D campaign, our group woke up a giant and he proposed to my character within 60 seconds. Then to the lycanthrope next to me when I said no. Why? Why though? Why does he have an instinct to propose to everyone and not, what you would think a giant would do, which is smash everything? That's okay. That's different. Brings a little spice. I see how it is. So I'm guessing when everyone said no, he got mad and then the hitting started, right? I don't know. Who knows? That's okay. Thank you everyone for your answers. Glad to know you don't just find a bunch of scary, awful things in dungeons. Yeah. And here comes the next question. What are your favorite dice designs? So think about whether you like just the solid ones as your main dice, or you like crazy colors, or you like a specific magically titled one from X dice producer here, or if you like wooden ones, if you have a sweet set of metallic ones, things like that. I'll leave you guys to think about that. So to answer this question, we will be posting it on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And you can comment in the post with your answer, and it will be read in the next episode. And if you don't already, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So, thank you guys so much. Can't wait to see what you guys have for me next week. Have a great day, and wherever you are, roll safely.
Called The Working Man's Nerdist, Tales from the Fandom is a weekly podcast where David talks with a guest about the fandoms that they love. Whether it's classics like Star Trek, Star Wars and Tolkien, or new ones like Game of Thrones or Harry Potter. Anime, books, TV shows, movies, role-playing, video games, cosplay and more are discussed. Each episode is different based on the guest. No fandom is too big or too small. Subscribe to Tales from the Fandom and join in on the fun.
This is very, very bad. I do not have, I cannot, this, no,
What, take it?
Does anybody have candy for Gerald? I think he needs a sweet.
Like a little sugar lick or something.
A little
Right,
sugar.
reaches into his pack.
Yes.
Mott reaches into his pack and alchemically creates a cube of sugar.
You might have candy from the old
Oh, that's right.
Might have Candy's number.
That I also met Rufus Rough Puppies, but like before when there was actual candy, not.
I had none of these bags when I worked there.
Okay.
Like in my boot?
I don't know. All right, so where to next, people?
30.
As you exit the Vizier's burial room and you walk down, you guys have just been knocking these burial chambers out. It is straight up. That's just what it is. This is just all one big tomb level.
We're just archaeologists.
And it might become very clear to you after observing the last few rooms that this is probably just where they all get out. Mm-hmm. All the Naga worshippers, just to come here secretly, because rarely anyone ever comes here unless someone dies. And it doesn't look like they have room for people who are not super important, unless they're just probably criminals or prisoners or whoever the manacle pile of bones was.
Yeah.
Were.
So 30's another burial room?
30's another burial room, and it seems to be made more of alabaster. ivory.
Okay.
Those sort of pure things. It seems to be a burial chamber for the vesticles of the temple, i.e. the more the female lizard folk, and nothing seems to be disturbed here.
Okay.
Out of all the other temples, of all the other fuckheads, of all the other people that the fuckheads just desecrate, nothing here has been touched. Do you enter the room?
Yeah.
You can't enter the room. There's a force that bounces you off as you try to enter the room. You take no damage.
Yeah.
But you just can't pass the threshold.
Guys, I can't get in.
What do you mean?
Over.
Try poking your try to put your hand through.
You can't. Ront tries. You can't.
Conall tries.
That's magic.
Conall cannot. It seems to be a. Does it tell you a spell? Anything?
At least the school, I think. Is...
I'm going. That's probably abjuration.
That's.
But you can tell abjuration. Something like this seems to be a wall of force.
Has to be something in there. Why we're being kept out, right?
We haven't found anything else down here that looks like a key.
Oh, it's evoke.
Just looking at
It's evocation.
Evocation.
None of us have dispelling stuff, right?
I don't think we could if we wanted to. Not in something like this, with this kind of setup, with whatever the like the baseline for magic in this place is the repairing thing that's on this whole pyramid that's lasted for a bajillion years, right?
As far as you can tell, bajillion.
I mean, longer
Longer, yeah.
Longer due to time inflation and
Time inflation.
Well,
Time inflation.
I guess we could always come back. Let's keep exploring.
I mean, there's that room over there.
Mhm.
There's 29.
There's 29.
And there's 27.
You can see from where you are standing in the hallway, since you can't get in the room. 29, the room just north of you. You can see several large tables just inside the doorway. And you can see next to some of these tables are large jars and casks. You can also see from where you are, there's a bin, like a little pit, sort of near the northeast corner of that room.
Actually, before we head up there, just ask Gerald what this room is about. We can see into it, right?
Yeah.
Like any story on this from out here?
He tells you it's basically the room for the Vestal Virgins. It was.
Oh, maybe only virgins can enter.
Why are
Hey!
you looking at me?
Hey! No, I don't know.
No. He says this was gifted with special
We're all
magic
teenagers.
Doesn't mean
to
anything.
protect their resting bodies.
Calm down, old man.
Does that mean there's something in there?
Just the dead, the sleeping.
Room 29, there's a bin. I'm gonna go look in the bin.
So you walk into the room.
Mm-hmm.
You walk into the embalming.
Hey.
There are no corpses mid preparation here.
That would be disgusting.
That would be
That'd
horrible.
weird.
But you do look in the bin. There's just a bunch of rotten linen cloths there, probably leavings from past embalmings and mummifications and things.
Man,
Oh.
this floor ain't got shit. Except for some gems.
You have learned some story, though.
Yeah, that's true. So we still have room 27, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
You walk into the threshold of this room. You peek into the threshold. You can see on the walls scenes of a throne room with a shaman. The shaman is depicting for this royalty a battle between a naga and a coatl. He seems to be crafting this imagery for them in a puff of smoke, sort of forming, like in Pocahontas, the wolf. Yeah, that cool. It's sort of making it appear to them. And he seems to be pleading with them and trying to tell them that this fight will be coming. And the royalty, you can see the vizier, the grand vizier, as depicted in the other room, speaking privately with the chieftain or the king or whoever in the next panel. And then in the panel following that, the shaman is turned away. And he leaves the city, and you can see the shaman opening up this portal, turning into a humanoid figure and walking through it on the outskirts of the city, and the portal shuts.
Because the shaman is a lizard thing.
Was a lizard.
Was a
thing.
lizard and then became humanoid.
Yeah.
So this is the shaman that was trying to warn the two gods that they were going to fight?
Warning this royalty that's being...
Warning the chief person, and then the next panel, the chief person conferring with the vizier, and then the next one is the shaman turning away and leaving.
Yes.
Fine. That makes sense.
Yes.
What else is in the room?
You can see depictions of lawmaking. They all seem to be various laws.
So it's a writing room?
It's no, it's still a burial room.
Oh, it's a burial room. Okay.
On the room are various laws that the tribe follows, written in Draconic, and they're all said made by this.
The Vizier?
No, not the Vizier. I hate to say senator, but some sort of congressional counselor.
Fine.
Of the people who created the laws. So this is a sort of council or chamber, a sort of legislative figure
I try to
this
just
tribe.
translate some of them.
Sure. They basically don't steal, you'll get your hand cut off. Eye for an eye. Very, very Hammurabi text.
The Hammer of
Okay, cool. More info. Alright, so then there's that little dead end thing.
Yeah, there's a little dead end thing.
Last time we went into a dead end.
This one's not as long.
You can see there's a set of stairs as you head down the hallway away from room 27 that seems to be going down.
What's the little nub?
What's the little nub? At the dead end, before you get to the stairs, you can see on that wall, painted and somewhat chiseled, 2 figures. Seem to be in royal trappings.
Okay.
Wearing headdresses that would denote them, as Ront points out. The royalty, he struggles for the word. Because there's no word that describes something that is a chieftain and a king, so he just uses them both to describe them to you, and the queen and the chieftain's wife, etc. But they are depicted on this wall at this dead end.
Just like standing proudly.
Standing proudly, the chieftain holds in his hand a staff, and at the top of the staff is a winged quad. And
there's no evidence of the Naga anywhere on this.
No, not on this one.
And it hasn't been defiled or anything. It's still in.
No, still there, still all set.
So I guess that we're about to see where they're buried next. If we go downstairs. I said that out of character. I didn't say that in character.
So again, in that little nook, just this painting.
Do you take a look in the nook?
Yes.
The nook is where the stairs are, right?
The stairs are separate from the nook.
Oh, I see.
You
I
are
see.
here.
Oh, okay.
You take a look in the nook.
Yes, I look at the nook.
Roll me investigation check, Ron, please.
Okay. 15.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
This is definitely a wall set to be a false wall.
But no apparent way to trigger it.
You feel around a bit, and you feel near the staff, and you can see that the wings on the staff, the quaddle staff, can be pressed in. They have a little give underneath them.
But anything else?
Nothing.
Just those.
Just those. You pop the wings in, they click, and the wall
Wow!
sort of just raises up.
I give a very overdramatic exclamation of surprise and awe.
Mm-hmm.
Is that for our benefit, or like because you actually feel those things?
Like all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you guys found entrance into a separate hallway chamber that is adorned with columns, sconces, standing iron candelabras, cobwebs, because it hasn't been disturbed ever in a long time. And just royal trappings. There are some dilapidated banners that are hanging from the walls here. And you can look off to the right, and it seems like there are stones that have fallen from the ceiling, and they seem to be blocking portions where you can see these grade portions here.
Okay.
That's where this hallway seems to be blocking. Something went wrong. It's like this trap was triggered to crush or to completely block access to whatever is on the other side of these. And they fell in a wrong way. One got caught on one of the pillars and sort of tilted over to where it's sort of slanted. You can see crawl space underneath it.
Yeah.
For the most part, the hieroglyphs on here depict the royalty, their daily lives, their history, etc. Blah, blah, blah.
Shall we?
Venture onward.
Why not?
So it is a crawl space that you have to go through. Only one of you can go at a time.
I'll lead.
And you find that twists and turns as you crawl underneath the first portion. There's a slight shifting in the rock above you. What do you do?
As I'm crawling.
As you're crawling about midway.
Can you point to where I am?
Yes.
I want to try and
Keep going.
like
bolt fast.
bolt. Yeah, like if what I'm envisioning is correct, it's like I'm crawling here and it's right here.
Yes.
So I want to basically like
just pounce forward straight.
Yeah.
You're able to pounce forward straight. And when you reach the other end and you turn around to see what happens, there's a slight shift and then it catches itself on another rock. This huge boulder above you. This square cubical boulder catches on a rock and it's just sort of there. But it seems stable now.
Okay.
And you find that you can stand where you are at this point.
All right.
And you can stand up, and it is just still a narrow hallway, given. But it does continue on to make a right into some sort of opening.
Okay.
The rest of you guys, how do you
hear that?
I'm going to, if you guys said you follow, I'm going to assume you were right behind her.
Right behind her.
Crawling.
So we all just piled into the hole instead of going one at a time?
If you didn't say you went one at a time, you're on the hole.
That's fine.
Nothing happens.
Slowly go around the boulder and then just walk out the hole.
Okay. When you come to find Sav'ah Rah, you see her staring into a huge chamber. It is a tomb. There are 2 large sarcophagi. Both gleam with golden highlights.
Dang.
Trimming, gold leaf. Now, surrounding these sarcophagi, there seem to be a number of large chests. Not any open padlocks on them. But you can also see that the room is littered with a bunch of broken objects. There are 2 thrones, completely smashed, broken apart. Broken chariot. There's pottery that would have once been very nice, just like thrown, just broken, destroyed. There's weapons, swords. However the fuck they did it, broken halfway at the blade. And just torn clothing everywhere, all the king's and queen's robes that you can see, all the fancy, just ripped, torn, burned away. There's piles of bones just covering the entire floor. And on the walls is a mosaic showing famous events during their reign. You can tell these are probably definitely the chieftain, king, queen, whatever.
Okay. So the sarcophagi are closed. They've also, but everything else has been smashed.
Smashed and placed weirdly, not scattered about. Like everything's smashed, but the broken things themselves seem to be organized into certain segments. Pottery, when the pottery was smashed, it's not like it was smashed here and then left alone. It's like it was smashed, and then all the pieces are piled into like the broken pottery base. All the rest of the pieces were piled into that base.
That's fucking weird.
I'm gonna sit with one of the broken thrones.
You're gonna sit with one of the broken thrones?
I'm gonna sit with those pieces, and I'm gonna look for 2 pieces that ostensibly would go together.
Okay.
And hold them together.
They go together. They just
match.
They just match. Nothing happens.
Okay. Really should have scratched that door.
We should
earlier.
open the
Really
things to
should
see
scratch
if
that
they're
door
also empty.
Yeah, go definitely do that. Well, someone asked Gerald why is this room hidden behind a weird thing? And what's the deal?
Geralt says, would you not hide a royal tomb with valuable things inside?
I mean, I would assume that if these guys are the big cheese, that these guys would be the reason this place exists at all.
Fair enough.
Has Bartholomew been quiet this entire time?
Yes.
Just while we're
Bart's hiding shit from us, but I had a bad insight check, so I don't know that.
Yeah.
So
yes, he's been quiet.
But he hasn't been giving us any additional information than what we.
No.
Don't even telling us.
No, he
Bart's
hasn't, ever since the engineer's room, he hasn't said anything.
Oh, okay.
But he has been following you.
Yeah.
Do I still sense the weird fixie aura in the whole place?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you still sense that.
Okay. I'm gonna continue to do with the dumb throne jigsaw thing for a little bit.
Yeah, sure. You continue that. I mean, you can't really.
Some of the pieces just don't work.
Some of the pieces just don't work because they don't go together. But yeah, when you find a matching piece, they match, but they don't magically poop together. Yeah. You can't unless you had some gorilla glue. You couldn't fix the front.
Anything on the walls.
And casting mending on it.
Just casting mending. You're casting mending on it.
If I did.
Yeah, then it starts to fix itself, and you can recreate the throne. Conall, for your question, anything on the walls? More general life depiction of the royalty.
Okay, let's open things to see if they're empty.
Yeah.
All right, you guys crowbar open the tombs. There are bodies inside.
Okay.
Yay, fun. Okay.
They are adorned in the ripped clothing of the king and queen. chieftain, high
And they don't
chief,
move
whatever.
or yell at us?
They don't move, yell at you, or try and scrape your eyes out. No.
Okay, tuck them back in, guys.
Okay.
Or, like, there's no, like, buttons or dumb things inside them.
Is it?
Do you move the
Yeah,
bodies?
is it just the pillings? That's
Do you
what
move
I'm
the
asking.
bodies?
All along the sides.
Along the sides?
Yeah.
Make me an investigation check.
Alright.
And Conall, make me an investigation check too.
15.
Haha, 8.
Alright, Ront, you're able to find hidden switches on the walls.
Many? Several? How many?
2.
One each or two in each?
So if you're standing at the entrance of the room, there's a switch on the left wall and the right wall. Both
this
similar.
is-
One being the ornate necklace on the chieftain king, and one being the ornate necklace on his wife, the queen.
Okay.
And they are pushable.
Go to the one on the left-hand side.
Okay, that's the
Wait.
king.
Wait, you're going to the one on the left hand?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on the one on the right hand. You want to push them at the same time?
Okay.
Something bad happens, I would say no, but okay. It's
I want to push them at the same time.
Okay.
Okay.
Push them at the same time. Doors open. Stone doors, just like the entrance to this chamber, open.
Like, I'm
And
pretty
you can
sure
see
they would open.
a jointed hallway where you can go down on both sides.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, guys,
Will
more
anything
stuff.
happen if I take something from them?
Take something from what? The bodies and
The
the.
bodies
Do you all right? What do you want to take from the bodies?
and any jewels.
There seems to be a glinting ring on the finger of one.
Okay.
Come on, Abu, hold it in.
All right. Do
Is there
you try to take it?
Yes.
As you pull up the hand, you notice that underneath the tattered robes, they are wearing manacles.
Shit, were they buried alive?
And when you pull the ring off the finger, it seems lighter than you would think.
The ring?
You
The
gonna
ring.
share any
Okay.
of this information with us?
This was fake gold?
Guys, this ring feels weird.
Okay.
Nothing happens.
Any of the flesh left on the bodies?
No,
So just skeletons.
skeletons.
Can I inspect to see if the metal or the jewel is real?
Sure. How do you inspect it?
Light on fire!
Wait it.
Very carefully. Take out a little monocle and a little like jeweler's.
Okay. Sure. Because thief. And you can
Many
see that
treasures.
it is not real gold. In fact, the ring's not metal. The little jewel in there is just glass. It's just a wooden
the
ring carved and painted in gold.
What?
And you notice that for all the other jewelry that you find inside the sarcophagus.
So are they decoys?
Is this decoy?
Gerald?
Someone steal it and
Bartholomew, do you know anything about this?
He quickly says it just seems to be a false tomb. And I would suspect, Bartholomew goes, that these two hallways
Are
take
the
us to the
actual-
actual chamber.
The actual chambers.
So
But I
Well,
would super be careful.
Well, shit. Alright.
Because, and he goes over to one of the chests, I suspect, kicks it open, and there's a bunch of coins in there, and he takes one out and he bends it easily. That all of this is just for show.
So we let go of the button, nothing happens, right? Like,
Nothing happens, it doesn't close back on.
Awesome.
No.
I
Left
sigh and
We should
throw
all
the
go
ring
into
back
one
the
room.
coffin.
I don't think we
Alright.
should split up.
Left or right?
Let's go right.
All right.
Ready for.
It seems to be, as you go down the hallway and you turn, you can find a burial chamber. Inside here, it is ornate. The same alabaster ivory decorations as the Vestal Virgin's burial chamber. But here there are just silk hangings and beautiful tapestries, all intact. Never touched. Never dilapidated. You find that you can enter the room easily. There's no wall of force or anything like that. And everything seems to be in astonishingly good condition. And all along the walls, there are just depictions of her life. Her being a queen, her being a mother, a very wise leader. It seems that this society was neither patriarchal nor matriarchal.
Yeah.
They both ruled in tandem. It seems to be you've discovered that they were both equally as important. That one was necessary, the powers to check the balance of the other.
Garrett, does any of this seem familiar to you?
I see her face. I can't hear her words, but she's speaking to me. She's looking up at me. I'm speaking to her. She bows, leaves something, think. I only saw her face. I mean, there are valuable things in this room.
Is there anything underneath?
Underneath what? The sarcophagus?
Did we opened it?
My family values are kicking in here to like respect the patriarch and matriarch of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If there are going to be
So-
traps anywhere, wouldn't they be in here?
I'm not gonna take it.
It is a solid gold sarcophagus.
That's like heavy as shit. How are we gonna carry that?
It ain't fooling nobody.
Yeah.
It is a solid gold sarcophagus. Have you entered the room yet?
Oh, I hadn't even thought of it. I assumed that we were like kind of right inside.
Yeah,
of, like,
you're
kind of
you're,
just
you're at
right
the
inside.
threshold.
Oh.
You're at
Yeah.
the threshold.
First thing I'm gonna do is ask everyone to step back and like touch the bottom of what the doorway threshold would be. Just press down. Just
Okay.
press down. Not anything happen.
Okay. As you press down on the floor, almost simultaneously, the little stone bricks in the walls, all the depictions, about 50 to 100 of those slide back and away. And you see about 50 to 100 bolts just sort of shoot throughout the room. And it's a cloud of bolts that fills the room. Since none of you were in there, I won't make you make the ridiculously nearly impossible dex saving throw that would have required.
Nearly impossible. Sounds impossible.
But yes, and now they're just littering the room.
Wait.
Fun. Free ball.
Wait. Again.
Again.
You do it again?
Again.
As you keep doing it, the floor is just continually getting covered in them. And they all look very sharp, and they all seem to have a little liquid on the end of them.
Think we're gonna
Poison.
you think they're gonna run out anytime soon, guys?
I mean,
I'm not taking anything, dude.
Only one way to find out, right?
Damn it, Conall.
I'm gonna go sit on those thrones in the fake room and pretend that I'm
The
royal
broken thrones.
Okay.
I'm happy that I'm not
until
getting
they
hit by
come
these.
back.
Are you
Until they
guys-
come back out.
So, Ront, Conall, are you guys going to continually press the button?
Yes, I keep pressing it.
I leave.
Okay. So,
I'm just gonna sit down and use myself.
do you want to keep pressing it until something different happens? So, about 30 to 45 minutes later,
Oh my god.
Everybody well rested?
Short rest.
Short rest.
and the pile of bolts is now as tall as your head. You cannot see anything into the room.
That's a lot of bolts.
You're still pressing the thing. They still seem to be attempting to shoot into the room, where now they can't because there's other bolts blocking the holes. There seems to be a faint sheen of liquid running through and pooling on the floor in front of you from these bolts. And finally, you click it, and nothing seems to happen. It finally seems to run out, and now looking for that solid gold coffin inside that room would be like finding a piece of hay in a needle stack that
Hey,
may or may
guys.
not be covered with poison.
How long have you been sitting on that one?
I've been sitting on it forever.
Hey guys, so
You're not
there,
the
it
first
turns out there
group to
is an
do
end.
exactly that. What?
I said, hey guys, there is an end to this.
It's not a
Okay.
kind.
No one's around to hear.
What was that subject? Come bow before me.
During sometime during those, I would have gone around and looked at the other one.
Yeah, same thing, except here it's the same solid gold coffin. Personal possessions thrown about the room. There seems to be a solid gold sarcophagus, this time standing upright at the end of the room. 2 hands outstretched from it. They hold, possibly together, the largest ruby that anyone has ever seen.
Stop. God damn it, Abu.
Thank you. Yes, that's exactly. It easily weighs 15 to 20 pounds by itself. And all along the floor are visible tiles that look like pressure plates. And you can see, instead of the Queen's room where the little holes were hidden behind stones and things, there are little holes everywhere. Everywhere. There is no pictographs, no hieroglyphs, no nothing. Just a stone room with these little holes.
Alright.
Everywhere on the ceiling, walls, floor.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna ask this question once. Did any of us, at any point, this is Pierre asking the question, have the opportunity to take Mage Hand? Because if not, we were not ready to come in here.
I do not have made. I don't think I've made that.
Well.
So wait, so am I still pressing the button while they're seeing all this?
Yeah, this happens 34
I
times.
don't see this. I'm
So
commanding.
pressure
Guys,
tiles
you
are on
can
every tile on the
use the
floor. There's some
software.
tiles where there's
No,
where
you
it's
said every
safe,
tile, right?
And pretty much every tile. Every tile looks like it could be a pressure plate.
and then jump all the way across the room.
Does wild shape allow you to be something that is capable of flight?
With a bat?
Not yet.
Not at that level yet.
I suppose we could use the rope, make a lasso, and try to lasso the ruby.
No.
Who has like wrench?
There
and
are
skills,
holes facing the threshold of the door. And there are pressure plates all along the floor.
So we just don't have to touch anything. We can just like
No, I'm.
zoop
I mean, like,
out the ruby.
I'm ready to go.
So I've already done the test. Like I've already pressed like one of them and like things.
Make a dex save.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Have you pressed one?
No, like the thing that I did before.
Oh, the thing that you did before. Yeah.
Like we did that and they all
Was.
Yeah, okay.
But that one, there were no holes facing you. Okay, so around the corner, what do you use to press it? Just a stick or something? Okay, there's like a door-shaped wall of darts that fly through the doorway.
That's impressive, actually.
Yes, there you go.
They all go through at once.
Yes.
That's precision engineering, guys.
Yes.
You all want to go downstairs?
Okay.
Welcome to the room.
Okay.
Don't take anything.
Okay. At this point in time, when this 32 is not full of darts.
Yes.
Not full of darts.
Not full of darts.
And while 34 is also not yet full of darts.
Not yet full of darts.
Is it possible to see from the threshold anything in either of these rooms that looks like a rectangular prismatic key or like a circular prismatic key?
No.
What was the other room that we were looking at? Oh, no,
Was it 36?
No, it was 30, and there was no anything. It was just like
Vestal Virgin Room.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Wall
that's
force.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
downstairs.
I'm not paid to dismantle this level of traps. So I mean, like you could do something to glue or rig the pressure plates up.
You'd have to do it to every single tile, maybe.
Yeah. So no, not doing that. And it doesn't look like there's any keys in there. So I'm leaving.
Do you guys
On
head
the chest plate.
downstairs?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. My favorite
Do
level.
you guys get me?
No, you finish. You finish. You
Has
see.
Hal been...
You go back out into the first room and you see spelled in throne fragments.
What's up,
We
Mike?
went downstairs.
So where do we come out anyway? Just curious.
You guys come
Down
out,
there.
curiously enough, down here.
At the
Okay.
start of what looks awfully a lot like a gauntlet. Thanks, Adam.
You're welcome. Love you. You guys exit at 44, which is...
Oh, right, of course, because this level is bigger again.
Yes. And it seems to be a door here. There is a stone door here.
Any way to open it?
Yeah.
Push it open?
You just push it open, it opens.
Just push, not slide?
Well, you pull it out. You pull it from where you are. You pull it.
What?
Anything
It opens.
come out of that like a gas?
You come into a huge chamber. It's a square chamber. On one side of the wall, far away, all on the right, there is a line like the molding of that side of the wall looks like skeletons and armor and dead corpses and things, just all along that side of the
It
wall.
looks
In
like
40...
it.
So like in 43 or at the end
45.
of...
45.
In 45. In 45.
We can't see 43 yet. We're like next to 44 right now.
It's an empty room.
Oh, I see.
3 doors. The one you came out of, and 2 in the center of opposing walls.
The doors face each other,
Mhm.
like directly.
Yes, they face each other. On the wall to your right, as you exit the door, a few scattered skeletons, broken, shattered limbs, reddish-orange stains on both the left and the right wall.
Reddish orange.
And there's a huge stone wheel with spokes on it, sitting around a gnome.
What about on the right? What's the door on the right?
The door, that's the door above you. That would be, so if you walk and stand in the center of the room, and you look towards where you came, the door on the right goes back to the stairs, and the door to the left of it, in the center of that wall, is the spoke wheel door.
Oh, I see. Not
Yes.
not the one leading into 46.
Yes, the one that leads into 46
It is a door.
south, just a door.
Okay, so to Spokies, is there anything, like, are there numbers, or are there etchings? It's just a spooky wheelie
Just
thing?
a spooky wheelie door.
Just gonna toss a few pebbles into the room, like, you know, at various depths in the room, just to do it.
Nothing happens.
Okay, I will step into.
You step into the room.
Okay, the stains, the
This-
reddish orange stains.
Definitely blood.
Definitely.
Oh.
Definitely blood. I say with a smile.
Get out.
Definitely blood.
Bleeds orange. Just give me an idea.
Any ideas, guys?
Well, don't we have to turn the thing?
I really don't want to. That
Like-
feels like something that's holding back something that would cause those. And I point at the stains.
You're forgetting we have rope.
So?
Put it on there, go back into the opening, and pull the rope.
Alright. Connell's gonna lead the expedition. I go back into 44.
Okay.
I do exactly what I say.
So describe to me in detail.
Can I make a lasso?
Mm-hmm.
If I walk over to the wheel,
Mm-hmm.
nothing happens?
If you walk up to
He
the
walks
wheel,
up to the wheel.
nothing happens when you walk up to the wheel.
Alright, I make the knot.
Okay, make the knot.
If I go to put it on the wheel,
Nothing happens when you put it on the spoke of the wheel.
Just say, like, whether you do it, because if I do this, he will
Okay.
tell you what happens until
Alright.
you find
I
out.
put it on the wheel. Then I slowly walk backwards, like leading a trail of the rope till we
Not
get
tugging on the wheel as you.
Yeah.
All right. So leading a trail of rope back to
back to where we came from.
the stairway.
Yeah.
Where is everyone else?
In the stairway? Or
Hopefully
up
nobody's
stairs?
in the room because I'm about
Okay.
to pull this rope.
Okay.
Not in the room.
Alright, if you're
Okay.
up to pull the rope, then I...
Pull the rope.
Everybody's out?
Yeah.
Pull the rope.
Give me a strength check.
I fail this
You
strength
botched.
test.
Okay. So you are not able to control how fast you pull this. This I love it. This spoked wheel. As you pull, you thought it needed more give, and you just let it rip.
Uh-huh.
And as you
Not a
let it rip,
Beyblade, man.
you like a Beyblade. And as you let it rip, you hear spinning. You hear everything in front of you. Stone mechanisms just going fucking buck wild. As the entire room, first you see the doorway just starts rotating, and the entire room spins like a flipper. Like you see the skeletons bouncing around in the very
Room 45?
Room 45. The
It's just
entire room
spinning.
just spins horizontally on an axis, not rotating like a carousel, flipping like a tumbling. And the skeletons are bouncing off the walls
Does it
and
cut the
bones
rope?
everywhere. It cuts the rope in half, yeah, at the
Good
thing.
job.
So your rope is bouncing up and just spinning wildly, and it slowly comes to a stop. And if you look at the room, it is now kind of upside down, but everything is still identical.
Wait, it's kind of upside down and everything's identical?
Yeah, like the ceiling is still identical to the
Yeah.
floor. It's just now you notice that the red stains are kind of shifted to a different, like a different side of the wall.
I'm still a little confused on where the spoke is. Is it all the way at the end of room 43?
It's on the door that would be going into.
Oh.
It's on the door.
Okay.
Well, thoughts, guys?
Maybe we have to spin it less hard to open the door.
I think I used my rope.
No, you know what? I
Used your soft rope. It wasn't hard
It
enough.
wasn't hard enough.
I just as you were describing that, I was saying.
Yes. Oh, you made a beautiful sound profile there. I loved it.
I have no ideas.
I mean, I want to see what's behind the door, man.
Which door?
That the spoke.
Okay.
I don't know.
You are welcome to find out.
Go ahead.
I go up to the thing and I just kind of like do a little
Jerk.
Do a little jerk.
like I want to see how, because obviously
how
he
much it
couldn't
goes.
test.
Yeah.
How much it goes?
Like,
What's the genuine
yeah, I
Try to see how
want
sensitive the wheel is.
Give me a strength check.
to. Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh,
10.
Okay.
Oh no.
You're able to control it
Okay.
a little bit,
Okay.
and you turn it 45 degrees, but the floor is still, and the whole room shifts 45 degrees. You guys can't get into the room now because it's just wall. I need you, Sav'ah Rah, to make a strength check
Okay.
again.
Oh,
Oh wait,
8.
no, I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong check.
Well, I
Re-roll
rolled.
again and give me a dex check, or if you want to keep that number,
I
you
want to
can.
keep it.
All right, it's a dex check.
It's 18, so plus 2 is 20.
You're able to hold on to the wheel,
Okay.
and you can, with your 20, sufficiently turn the wheel while you're on this sloped 45-degree angle, as all of the skeletons and bones and things just sort of slide down to the wall to the right of you.
And this door is still like locked.
It's still locked.
I mean, Tasha wouldn't even look like a door, right? Would it?
It would look like a door. It looks like a stone door, like the other stone door, except there's this mechanism on it.
Weird. Just weird.
You can, with your 10, you can sufficiently return the thing in the
Yeah.
opposite direction.
Just to like get people back
45
in.
degrees, yeah.
So you don't have to be alone in this weird.
Yeah,
corner.
yeah, I do that.
So the room is back to normal. You can enter it. You can see Sav'ah Rah is still alive, unharmed.
Step inside of the room and say, we should really make salad in here.
I'm so frustrated. I don't know how to open this door.
Do you need help?
I will go over.
Can I try going into room 46 and watching from room 46?
Or have we been able to tell? No, we haven't been able to tell whether that room moves independently or independently relative to this room, right?
The door to that room does not seem to rotate with the rest of the room. All right. You enter room 46. There are a lot of runes in this room as you open the door. A lot of inscriptions. There are altars with offerings that have been vegetation that has been burnt. A lot of scribings, maybe a divination room of sorts. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna say also when that room spun 45 degrees, my mask came off.
Oh yeah, it would have been. You'd have to go get it among the skeletons.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
That's convenient.
All right.
Right.
So those of you inspecting the door, yes.
Yeah.
All right. How do you inspect the door?
I walk over and I push the door
Where do you push the door?
above the wheel. I just kind of like
Like
I'm
on
not
the
touching the
door.
wheel.
It does not budge.
I'm pushing in the middle of the wheel now.
You're pushing the nub in the middle of the wheel.
Yeah.
It goes in. The door opens.
Fucking what?
I was thinking about that. Yeah.
I got
I
this.
think I know he was in there.
Pushes in. It clicks, and then there's a as the door sets back and slides away. It reveals a room. 43. Looks like a vault. There seem to be a bunch of precious things set along a mantle along the walls. There you can see a carved bone statuette.
I'm going to die a grisly death one day.
On both sides of that, there's a couple of copper chalices, silver filigree. There's an ewer made of silver. There's one small mirror in a painted wooden frame. There is a black velvet mask stitched with silver thread, and a silver raven figurine just sitting there. There seem to be a set of pipes made of bone with a little bird skull adorned that you blow in the back of and it makes a thing. There's a bottle with what seems to be smoke flowing in and around inside, and a gem.
I run back in when I hear the click of the thing, and I go for the bone statue. So now I have 3 different kinds of statues.
I personally like I take the raven and the mask, which can I wear the mask?
Yes, the mask is
I
wearable.
swap it for my
The heck is a ewer?
sacred.
Ewer is
Wait.
a container of wine, container, I believe.
What's the bone statue of?
It's
The bone figure?
the bone statuette.
Because I have a jade Quaddle statue, I have an ivory Naga statue,
It's of the queen.
and now I have a bone queen statue.
And you said a
Those are
bottle
great.
with smoke in it.
I'm
Bottle
moving
of
for
smoke
this
in it, yeah.
collection.
Ron, bottle of smoke.
Yeah, definitely take the smoking thing.
What is this? Identify it.
Aha!
What is it?
Yes! Identify. I love items that I can give you that I don't feel bad and they don't break the game, as maybe they don't break the game. Alright. Dungeon Master's Guidebook. Here's all the items.
We need jingles
Need jingles?
for the books.
Yes, I started taking when we need the books out, but I might leave from now on when we call for the books and just do a little jingle.
No, like 60s era commercial jingles.
60s.
Like,
It's the Dungeon Master's Guide. Need players all to die.
Yep.
Just find a trap and look at that. They're all corpses now.
yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, I'll think about it. What was I? You looked at the what? Identify on the what?
There's a
Bottle.
bottle
Yes.
and it has smoke in it.
Aha! You find it is an ever-smoking bottle. It is a wondrous item, uncommon. Smoke leaks from the lead-stoppered mouth of this brass bottle. I'm sorry. I'm going to say there's a little glass window that you can see the smoke in, which weighs 1 pound. When you use an action to remove the stopper, a cloud of thick smoke pours out in a 60-foot radius from the bottle. The cloud's area is heavily obscured. Each minute the bottle remains open, and within the cloud, the radius increases by 10 feet until it reaches its maximum radius of 120 feet.
I never need to take that other cantrip again.
Ever again.
I never ever need to learn that thing.
The cloud persists as long as the bottle is open. Closing the bottle requires you to speak its command word as an action. I'll let you guys make up whatever that is.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Once the bottle is closed, the cloud disperses after 10 minutes. A moderate wind, 11 to 20 miles per hour, can also disperse the smoke after 1 minute, and a strong wind, 21 or more miles per hour, can do so after 1 round. What else did you pick up, Conall?
I picked up the small raven,
Mm-hmm.
and I picked up the mask, which I'm now wearing.
Okay. So left in here is the... Do you do anything to those, Ront?
I will do y'all a favor and identify your shit if you want.
Check out my raven. I don't care about the mask, I just like it.
It is a figurine of wondrous power. They're wondrous items. This one is uncommon. There are many different ones. It's a silver statuette of a raven that can become a raven for up to 12 hours. Once it has been used, it can't be used again until 2 days have passed. While in raven form, the figurine allows you to cast the animal messenger spell on it at will.
So as long as it can travel for 12 hours?
I mean, it'll travel for 12 hours and then poof.
Right.
So can you identify a mask?
Yeah.
Mask is nothing, just a mask.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
Now I'm getting worried I'm gonna turn into something.
That's why. That's exactly why.
Can I put it on before even thinking?
That's exactly why I said that out loud the way I did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna identify the jewel.
You're gonna identify the what?
The jewel.
You're gonna identify the gem?
Yeah.
Alright, the gem is a gem of brightness, a wondrous item, uncommon. This prism has 50 charges. While you're holding it, you can use an action to speak one of 3 command words to cause one of the following effects. The first one causes the gem to shed bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. This effect does not expend a charge. It lasts until you use a bonus action to repeat the command word or until you use another function of the gem. The second command word expends 1 charge and causes the gem to fire a brilliant beam of light at one creature you can see within 60 feet of you. The creature must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or become blinded for 1 minute. The creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. The third command word expends 5 charges and causes the gem to flare with blinding light in a 30-foot cone originating from it. Each creature in the cone must make a saving throw as if struck by the beam created with the second command word. When all of the gem's charges are expended, the gem becomes a non-magical jewel worth 50 gold pieces. And then you have the pan pipes, the 2 little, 1 pipe and the pan pipes, and you have the 2 copper chalices with silver filigree, the silver ewer, and the small mirror.
You want the gem? I identified it for you. It's a flashlight and also some other stuff.
Awesome, yeah.
Can you identify the mirror?
You want to just put everything in a pile and identify it?
I'm just gonna sit next to a pile of stuff and rub it for 10 minutes.
So, you rub everything. There is no other magic item except for the pipes. These are pipes of haunting. You must be proficient, with wind instruments to use these pipes. Wondrous item, uncommon. They have 3 charges. You can use an action to play them and expend 1 charge to create an eerie spellbinding tune. Each creature within 30 feet of you that hears you play must succeed on a DC 15 wisdom saving throw or become frightened of you for 1 minute. If you wish, all creatures in the area that aren't hostile towards you automatically succeed on the saving throw. A creature that fails a saving throw can repeat it at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. A creature that succeeds on its saving throw is immune to the effect of these pipes for 24 hours.
Okay.
The pipes regain 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn. They don't disappear if some bullshit happens.
Is anybody here, proficient at wind
I
instruments?
don't believe so.
Does being one with elements count?
No.
Oh.
But I'm gonna take it because at the very least, if I ever meet my dude.
Oh,
Is that
that's true. Good idea.
Is that like a class thing, or is that like literally a proficiency?
No,
It's
you would
proficiency.
You would have to.
Spells?
You would have to be able to choose the proficiency as a part of your class, which bards, I guess.
So bards are.
You can just spend downtime to.
You can spend that. You can pick it up as part of your background, or easy bard.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna try to play it.
I mean, yeah.
Not here.
Not here. All right.
Everybody wants
And
to
that's
make it
all
through.
that's in the thing. The copper chalices and the mirror is
The mirror
Yoink.
with
Also, the charge is
The-
recharged, so that's
painted.
rad.
It's, worth something. It's a mirror.
The statue
just
wasn't
take a mirror.
magical, right?
No.
I just added more to my collection.
Mm-hmm.
Raven was though.
Okay, so I wander back out into 46, which
The
nothing-
divination room.
Yeah, and then keep going to 47.
Yeah, there are doors here, so you do have to open things.